and the Deputy National Security Advisor under former President Trump, Victoria Coates. Congressman, first to you, your reaction to that report. Let's say the names of the 3 soldiers killed: Sergeant William Jerome Rivers, Specialist Kennedy Sanders, and Specialist Brianna Moffett. So your reaction to the story, sir?
Well, my heart breaks for these families and these service members, in addition to the 2 Navy SEALs that we lost earlier. This feckless, failing policy, this president who has basically a rope-a-dope foreign policy. It worked for Muhammad Ali. It does not work in foreign policy. The Iranians, the Russians, the Chinese, they see us as weak because of President Biden, and this is only going to get worse.
So what the congressman said, Victoria Coates, Biden's spokesman John Kirby claimed they've held Iran accountable, but they reversed Trump's maximum pressure policies, and now Iran has grown its reserves to nearly $100 billion when it was $4 billion under Trump.
No, exactly. And I strongly agree with Congressman Alford. I mean, these are the finest of our finest that we've lost, and it's absolutely shameful for this to have happened on the president's watch. And you're 100% right about the resources. I mean, President Trump saw this very clearly. If you starve Tehran of resources, they will not have the money to pay all of these proxy groups. The proxy groups were miserable under President Trump, and now they are back in a golden age where you have, billions and billions of dollars flowing to Hamas, to the Houthi, to Hezbollah, and we see what they do with it. This isn't hard. This is basic math. And so I think, it would be great if President Biden would come up with a robust policy of deterrence against Iran. But unfortunately, I think he's really lost the confidence of the American people on this. And I'd let the congressman speak to this, but I can't imagine there's a lot of confidence in Congress about what his response is going to be.
What do you say, Congressman? Because U.S. forces have been attacked 165 times in the Mideast since mid-October, 66 injured before this catastrophic attack, 13 troops killed in the chaotic Afghanistan exit. What do you say?
Well, I know the Republicans are frustrated. I think every decent, right-thinking American should be frustrated, include Democrats here on the Hill, because this president has been asleep at the wheel. We've had a Secretary of Defense who's been missing in action. At least the president didn't know where he was for those several weeks, and it didn't really surprise me. The president, I don't think, knows where he is half the time. But my point is, this has gotten to a critical state. The weakness that Joe Biden has shown on the world stage with Afghanistan, with Russia, with China, it is devastating. We must take action against Iran now.
There's lots of talk about the White House strategy here. Critics say this is all the president and the White House got. All it's got is saying don't to Iran. That's it. Don't. Watch this.
And what's the message to Iran?
Don't.
It was very important to send a very clear message to anyone who might seek to take advantage of the conflict in Gaza to threaten our personnel here or anywhere else in the region. Don't do it.
What is your message to Hezbollah and its backer, Iran?
Don't. Don't. I've already delivered the message to Iran. They know not to do anything.
Victoria Coates, really, that's it? I mean, Senator Lindsey Graham said, quote, when the Biden White House says don't, the Iranians do. And Senator Mitch McConnell, in a Senate floor speech, accused the president of playing whack-a-mole with bombings of warehouses and munition depots. He's saying until Iran feels its own interests are threatened, attacks on U.S. forces will continue. What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. Don't is not a strategy any more than as much as it takes for as long as it takes is a strategy. They have bumper stickers. They have, I guess that's the length of a strategy that the president can remember at this point, but it's not effective against the Iranians. They kept saying over and over again, this is going to go on until somebody gets killed. Well, now 3 people have been killed. And it's from the White House press briefing today, the president hasn't even found 5 minutes to call the families yet of the fallen. And so we've got this situation, and it reminds me more than anything, Liz, of the Obama red line in Syria that wasn't enforced. I fear we're back there.
Got it. Congressman Alford, Victoria Coates, thank you so much for your insights tonight. We appreciate you both.